Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And as part of finding those games, I like to keep apprised of what Matrix Slitherine is up to. And they recently had their Home of Wargamers live symposium, I guess you'd call it, where they get together, they talk about all the new games that they have, the games that are under development, updates of games that they've announced in the past, and then sometimes they'll give you a date of when it's going to be released. So they had this in the last couple of days. Now, I want to say up front, Matrix Slytherin does not pay me to do this. I wish they did. I mean, if somebody from there is watching, feel free. I have a PayPal account. But they do, from time to time, give me a game early. We play turn-based war games, and I have to say that Matrix Slytherin has helped keep that genre alive, and they're a good group of people. Anytime I've ever dealt with them, they've been fantastic, and so I'm always happy to support them. Remuneration or not, but yeah, they're a great group of guys and ladies, and luckily they have kept wargaming alive, turn-based wargaming. Now, if I was going to say kind of their top line of what they announced was they gave us a release date for Distant Worlds 2, which is going to be March 10th of 2022. I am super excited about that. That is to me the best 4X game, the best space game ever made. Distant Worlds universe was. So I'm very excited about that. But they had a lot more going on there, and I'm on this site called Game Watcher. Never been there. It looks like kind of a cool site, but they have a nice listing of all of the things that they announced. So let's just go down here really quickly, and I will underneath this link the actual live stream. If you're interested in something, you can fast forward and go to that portion where they talk about it. And you see up here the Distant Worlds 2 release, okay, but the new announcements, they announced Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. And so I said top line, the Distant Worlds release. The other thing that they mentioned is that in addition to just their turn-based library that they're going to expand and new DLCs, things like that, they are also looking more and more at real-time strategy games and to up the graphics quality of their games to try to bring more people into wargaming. And from what I saw in the thing, the graphics of some of these games are on a whole different level of where we've been before with Matrix Slytherin. So anyway, Terminator, Dark Fate, they have been licensing these 80s licenses, whether it be Terminator now, they've also gone back and done Starship Troopers, they have something for Stargate. So if you are an 80s file, they've got some kind of license for you. But Terminator Dark Fate, you can look at that. It's a real-time strategy game. Pretty cool trailer they put out for that. Now, this is more in our wheelhouse, Headquarters World War II. To be honest with you, this reminded me of Battle Academy. If you've ever played Battle Academy, which is one of their games, I mean, it's a hex-based tactical game, but the graphics looked amazing. I think it's maybe, well, I'm not sure if those are the graphics, but they look very similar to this actually for a turn-based tactical war game. The graphics looked incredible for this Headquarters World War II. Now they don't have a release date for that or anything, but they've got enough that they showed some screenshots and it looked really cool. They also had some video, so I mean they're that far along. Modern naval warfare. If you like Cold Waters or a game like that, this game looked also incredible. I mean, it had just incredible graphics. You should go check that out. Upcoming game announcement: Stargate, Timekeepers. So these are games they had already announced. These were new announcements. Ones I just went through: Terminator, Headquarters, Modern Naval Warfare. These are games down here that they had already previously announced and they gave updates for. So if you're looking forward to one of these, go to the section where they talk about it. They put kind of a schedule right up front when you go to the video. Stargate, Broken Arrow. I told you they love these 80s and 90s licenses, which I assume are quite a bit cheaper. So it's probably a good idea to go buy these up. Broken Arrows, Starship Troopers. This one I know that they're very excited about. Now, I am not the biggest fan of that movie. Some people love it. I know it's a cult classic, but I saw it during college and maybe it kind of flew a little over my head at that point. But they're very excited about this Starship Troopers. And then Distant Worlds 2. And I talk about this game all of the time, Distant Worlds. If you are into space games, or if you just kind of like pausable real-time strategy, so it's a pausable game, much like a Paradox game, go check out Distant Worlds Universe. I think you can get it now with all the DLCs for like $10 or something crazy. And go check out that game because it holds up. It doesn't have the best graphics, and that's why they're coming out with Distant Worlds 2, but that is one heck of a game. DLC announcements, they've got some more Warhammer 40K Battle Sector coming. The Necrons, so if you're into Warhammer, um, they've got the Necrons, and I know it's a very popular faction. Panzer Corps 2, they're putting out a Pacific DLC. Now, I love the Pacific War theater. This may be one we play. I generally don't play games like Panzer Corps, Strategic Command. Nothing against those games. I've played hours and hours of them. They just don't necessarily lend themselves to tutorials, I guess, which is more of our speed. But I may play this one just because it's so hard to find good Pacific War games. Field of Glory 2, of course, they're pushing out DLCs all the time for this. This new one will focus on the 100 Years' War. So if you like shooting arrows, you love archers, this one will probably be for you. As a matter of fact, it's called Storm of Arrows. Look, I didn't even see that. I swear to God, I said that off the top of my head because that's what I think of 100 Years War. Valor and Victory is their game that's kind of like ASL, Advanced Squad Leader. They're trying to push it in that vein. So if you're an Advanced Squad Leader, look, they've never recreated what you can do on the board with Advanced Squad Leader. That being said, uh, this one's pretty good. I mean, we played a little bit on the channel just as a first look. Check it out. This is another one, Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm. I'm super excited about. These Flashpoint campaign games are excellent. They're more kind of high level. You sort of tell your guys, hey, this is your objective. This is, it's a different kind of war game. It's more of like a high command. Uh, well, I say high command, but it's down at the battalion level. So I don't know. Maybe I confuse myself there. But these Flashpoint campaign games are fantastic. So anyway, I will link the live stream. So if you're interested in any of these games, you can very quickly find it because this was like a 4-hour live stream. And those are great guys, but that's a long time to watch a bunch of strategy wargamers sit around and talk about new games. So if you have one or two in particular, they're easy to find where they talk about them, and they talk to all the developers that are actually, working on the game. So anyway, always happy to support Matrix Slitherine. You should be too. Right now, by the way, they're selling more in the Pacific Admirals edition for $16. I think less of you if you don't go buy that right now. One of the great games ever made, in my opinion, the greatest. But anyway, this is the new slate that they've got coming your way. Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.